Well, once again, Andor dumps 3 more episodes. The 7th of which was just a colossal waste of time. Once again, they jump a year ahead, and you just kind of have to fill in the blanks. I mean, they give you details of what happened, but you just don't have the development of characters to get them to where they are. It's a long, drawn-out waste of time. A couple of minutes of dialogue and what have you could have set up the events. But if you're going to do this long-winded episode, it should have been structured to where it jumps through time in the middle of it, to where you get more of the setup and development, so it's more credible for where the characters end up for the payoff in the following episode. So I think that's one of the big problems with Andor, certainly in Andor season 2, which some of the slowness of the previous season could be forgiven but because it was all elements of the setup and for Andor himself and his growth and what have you. But here it's like, man, it's time to leave a lot of that in the past and start moving, and they just didn't. And episode 7 is, like I said, it's unnecessary. It needed, at the very least, like I said, you had some development here that you didn't really get to with, especially with Cyril, the character there. In a way, I can understand how it ends, because he's kind of presented as he's going to be this obsessive rival of Andor. But well, I won't spoil it, but but it's kind of like, well, you think it's going to be this momentous thing, and but nevertheless, but just his character and where he ends up and where he is between him and Deidre and all that, basically all they really dealt with since his days as being the failed police officer and all that is just him having to deal with these women who dominate him, his mother, and then his, I guess, girlfriend, perhaps wife was supposed to be, or whatever have you. And they did do some little bit here and there that the relationship was more real than than one of convenience or what have you, and there was something there, but that's just part of the sadness of it, I suppose. But nevertheless, it just was not handled well. There's not enough development there. Not just, not so much between them, but just for him to get where he is when everything blows up here, and it does. So episode 8 and 9, well, they do pick up. A lot of action takes place in both of them. The sad story of Planet Gorum. Of course, the interesting narratives that both the Empire and Luthen are headed for the same goal, and in a lot of ways is like, Luthen's like, look, if it blows up for Gorum, it'll burn bright because it's a significant planet. It's not going to be easy for the Empire to try to cover that up, and it's going to spark more people to turn against them, that they really are this force of evil in the galaxy and all that sort of thing. So that's basically what happens. You have the uprising, and it's all manipulated. The Empire has secretly wanted this so they could justify the crackdown, because they're going to have to start drilling for the rare element that the planet possesses, so they can use that for the Death Star, and it's going to absolutely devastate the planet. So we got to get rid of these people anyway. So let's try to frame them for a violent terrorist movement, what have you, and that's what they do. Well, I'd spoiled it. But you've seen the previous episodes, you knew that's what was coming and what was going to happen. I won't go into all the activities of how it plays out, but you can pretty much guess. And meanwhile, Andor's there because they've got a chance to get revenge on Deidre, and that plays out. And it's not that bad of an episode, and it's like some action happens and it plays out, and it's, you know, a bit somewhat surprising here and there, but not by much. But there it goes, the sadness there. But you finally get a favorite character, the best character from Rogue One, makes his appearance. This is the sort of thing that a better template to pursue this series would have been having Andor and K2SO, or is it KSS2O? No, K2SO. That sort of this buddy narrative between the two, and the bickering between them and all that, just would have carried the show better, even when it was slow, you know, and quite a few elements just to have them there, and that this is something they put together. But anyway, it's pretty much how you would have expected of how this happens, that he gets reprogrammed and all that. So, but he's captured in this one. Then in 9, everyone, the reaction has the effect, maybe not as strong as Luthen would have wanted, but it is getting through, and Mom Mothma has this moment, and she has to escape. Her career as a senator is over. The Senate is almost doomed as well, as we know from New Hope. But they don't really know that just yet. But nevertheless, the crackdown is happening. She manages to get her speech out. Andor has to save her, and so on and so forth. Bail Organa makes an appearance, now played by Benjamin Pratt. I'd forgotten to mention that he showed up, and I was like, did he say Bail Organa, or is he supposed to be some other Organa, like his brother or something? No, I don't know. I'm not aware of the story. If Jimmy Smits wasn't available for whatever reason, I hope it's not health reasons or something like that. But it could, I don't know. But anyway, so that's the deal, you know, and of course he's still there and what have you. But so there you go. You have your big rescue, a lot of action there, the big chase to make it out. Then the ending with Andor's relationship with his girlfriend, wife. It was just stupid. I just didn't buy that. And of course, there's 3 more episodes, so maybe this isn't how they conclude this. But I just don't think she would do this. And, you know, I understood is like, and I mean, he has a good point about, look, I've done enough for this cause and all that, but I don't know. It just came across kind of stupid. So with a lot of Andor, there's good and bad, but there's too much bad, and most of it is this just the slowness and padding and wasting of time on things, and really to the detriment to their overall narrative. They just, hey, look, a lot's happened in between episodes, and just go with it. Cyril's in this position now. I don't think that works. But it's cool the android's there, but really too little too late. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, Star Wars is done for the most part. It doesn't really, in Andor, even if Andor did everything right, it wouldn't have saved Star Wars and that sort of thing. That ship sailed some time ago, so. But at least, you know, to try to have a good show, you know. But, yeah, it's not happening. That's too bad. Hopefully we'll get some cool scenes with the android now that he's there for 3 episodes. Yeah. Oh well.